And welcome to ESPN High School Basketball tonight, exclusively from New York City. We are in Queens. Christ the King High School is your host in Middle Village, New York. St. John Vianney, nationally ranked, 16-1 record going up against the host, Christ the King Royals. Jeremy Treatman is here along with Sky. And Sky, you were a two-time national champion, Sky Lindsay, with this program, and you're here making the first ever regular season game we've ever done here on ESPN for girls basketball. Must be doubly exciting for you.
What a huge day it is today for girls basketball, and it's so exciting to be back here at Christ the King. I cannot wait to watch this exciting game we have ahead of us.
There you see the starting lineups: Bruin, Callahan, O'Connor, St. Rose, who's the big star for St. John Vianney, and Katie Hill wrapping it up for head coach Dawn Carpel in her 14th year with St. John Vianney. She has played against Bob Mackey, the longtime coach of Christ the King, who in his 19 years has won 17 Catholic League champions. There you see her starting lineup: Sharon Brown, Holzer, Glenn, who's averaging 19.2 points a game. Excuse me, this is for Christ the King. There's Bob Mackey, the legendary coach. Tyler Cohen wears number 24, and Brown wears number 32. So the opening tip-up is won by the Royals. They'll have the ball. Right wing with it right there is Glenn. She's the leading scorer at 19 points a game. Again, injured player this year, Natalia Marshall. And she's a National Player of the Year candidate. Unfortunately missing this year with an ACL. She's out for Christ the King. As the jumper is hit there for St. John Vianney, and it's number 4, Callahan.
And Jeremy, that's how the Lancers want to play. They want to create their offense from their strong defense. Right there, a quick bucket off of a steal.
And they're going to press. Breaking the press is Christ the King, but missing the layup inside for the Royals. Brown, and it comes back the other way. Good pass up court. That's Emma Bruin. She's one of the 5 starters, averaging 4 points a game. Madison St. Rose, the star of this team, 16.3 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. And she shoots 83% for the line for the Lancers.
And Christ the King getting lucky that time. They must keep an eye on St. Rose, Jeremy. They could not give her open shots like she just had right there.
Quick lead for Vianney. They got the first bucket. Now, even though Christ the King's 3-15, they've been in almost every game, according to Coach Mackey. They have a huge win this year over Malloy, Senior McClancy, Nazareth. They lost in overtime to Xavier and one of the better teams in New York City. We got a traveling violation here against the host Royals. They could go back to St. John Vianney.
You know what? Talking to Coach Mackey before the game, Christ the King is a team that is known for winning championships. They know what it takes to win. This year, without their star player Marshall on the floor, he said that these teams are not taking it easy on his girls this year. This is their chance that they feel this season to get some wins over Christ the King.
There's that zone for Christ the King, the 2-3, but breaking it is Vianney, and finding it again, Callahan. She's got 4 points inside.
Callahan, the 6'2" sophomore forward, just always at the right spot at the right time so far in this first quarter. And great job by the guards for the Lancers to consistently find her for a second time that time for an open shot.
Callahan now with 4 points in the contest. She's got all the points in the game. One-man press here for Christ the King. That's Brown. Sharon Brown, averaging about 8 points a game. With it now on the left wing, Holzer. Anna Howe-Holzer, 5'9" junior guard. She's the other double-digit scorer for this Christ the King team, averaging 12 points with 7 assists. She's really had to step it up with the loss of Marshall. It's put a lot of pressure on some of the other girls here on the team, Sky.
Holzer and Glenn are going to have to try their best to control the tempo of this game. You can see St. John Vianney trying to force them to speed it up and make quick passes, but they have to take their time and be patient and play with poise when they have the ball.
This is what Vianney does best, force the other team into turnovers and run down the court, and they get another easy layup. It's Katie Hill. She's only a junior, but she's already got a lot of Division I offers. Ivy Leagues, Patriots, and those offers are going to keep going.
And talk about the hustle and the effort by the Lady Lancers. And Coach Carpel spoke to us before the game, and she mentioned that's how she wants her players to play, with a lot of hustle, a lot of heart, and leave it all on the floor. And so bringing a lot of energy early on this game, and not used to this big college caliber court.
In the huddle there, you see Bob Mackey, 19th season as the head coach. Look at that incredible record. The school's won 9 national championships. Now, he was also the assistant coach for 12 years before that, and they were winning big-time games then. They're probably the winningest program in all of America. I know you're part of that with some of the great players that played here, like the Sue Birds and Shamik Holtzgall, Shea Derone. It's got to be pretty amazing. Tina Charles to be part of all this.
Yeah, Christ the King, hands down, is the mecca of New York basketball. And everyone loves to have the opportunity to come on this floor and go against the best. And Christ the King, for years, has always been the best. And so Coach Carpelchi mentioned that her girls were eager to have a chance to come into Christ the King. After Christ the King beat them last year, this is their chance to get some payback.
And Christ the King won it all last year, 27-4. They were the New York State champs. They're down 8-0 now as Emma Bruin has scored. She's averaging about 4.3 points a game. Almost on the board for the first time was Christ the King right there. Missing that shot was Sanaya Glenn, their leading scorer. She's a serious Division I prospect, just a sophomore, averaging about 19 a game.
Yeah, and Glenn getting a nice shot that time. A beautiful up and under to get that lefty layup, but just wasn't able to connect. And that's because of her youth, only a sophomore.
Mackey with the inexperienced team going to that zone and getting a big rebound right here. Will be Christ the King. That's Aliyah Brown, 6'4", senior center, one of the few seniors on the squad.
Brown getting caught. She did a great job snatching that rebound down, but brought the ball back behind her head and allowed the guards to snatch it right out of her hands.
Well, Coach Mackey really was reinforcing that, exactly what he talked about, Sky, because turnovers will be the bugaboo, and that'll lead to easy baskets for a team like St. John Vianney, a team who knocked off number 11 Riverdale Baptist of D.C. earlier this year. That was their monumental win. Their one loss was to Long Island Lutheran, but they're having a great year with just one loss, and they're definitely a candidate to win the New Jersey Tournament of Champions championship this year on the girls' side.
And Jeremy, many people did not think that St. John Vianney would have the season they've been having so far. They graduated 5 to 6 seniors last year, and so this year a very young squad, but you can see they've learned a lot from playing with that group, with that winning group last year. And only one loss on the season this year. They lost last week in New York, and so they're happy to be back over the bridge into New York.
We're going to take a timeout right here. You are watching ESPN High School Basketball, the first ever regular season high school game on the network. Everything good so far? It's all going to be here. And they're going to be April 2 to 4, and they're going to be right here at Christ the King High School and all those ESPN networks and streaming live. And there you see the dates. Christ the King High School right here in New York City and Queens. 8 boys teams and 4 girls teams. Always one of the most anticipated tournaments in the country. ESPN's been running it for a long time. 10 games on all these ESPN networks, and you'll see the best of the best on both the boys and the girls side. Vianney on the inbound. Pitching the shutout right now. They're up 10-0. Long ball put up there by Katie Hill. No good. Let's see. It looks like it's going to stay Vianney basketball.
Yeah, but Christ the King now. And Jeremy, the Christ the King's struggling to score. That's how they're going to get back in this game. They're going to have to focus on defense and get stops on the defensive end, and that is how their offense will come. And right now, also focus on getting the ball in bounds against this SJV press.
Not easy, because St. John Vianney's press is very good. It's their bread and butter. They are a run and gun team. They want to get out there and run. Also talked to Coach Carpel before the game. We both were on conference call with her yesterday, and she said we're going to stress substituting a lot because this is a big court. It's like a college court. We're not used to it. We're going to play a lot of people to get acclimated.
Yeah, a big difference between New Jersey girls basketball and New York basketball, aside from the fact that Christ the King has a college-sized court that most high school girls are not used to playing and running up and down on, there is a shot clock. And in New Jersey girls basketball, there's no shot clock. They have as much time as they need to get in their sets. But now in New York, that's not the case. So St. John's Vianney have to play a little bit faster than they're used to on the offensive end again with that shot clock.
And it's a 35-second shot clock to be exact. Vianney's working around the zone right now. Whitehead has it. Looking inside, and now Christ the King gets a steal. As that shot clock goes off, they're going to say shot clock violation. Ball goes back to Christ the King. That was their best defensive sequence. That's got to really pump them up.
Yes, that's their second defensive stop in a row since that timeout by Coach Mackey. And one thing about Coach Mackey, he knows that he may not be able to win this game with his young group without Marshall in there, but he is a teacher at heart. He's a coach. This is always abilities for him to teach these girls and get better each possession. And so really not too concerned about the score or the outcome of this game. Coach Mackey's focused right now on just teaching and allowing his girls to learn his style of play.
I don't know by that face that he doesn't care about the score. Down 10-0 right now. They throw the ball away, unfortunately, for Christ the King. It was Alvarado throwing that one away, and also Sharon Brown not able to handle a pass. They'd sit back in that 2-3 zone. Vianney going with the high-low on the right wing. That's Madison St. Rose. We haven't really seen her get out on the break. That's her bread and butter. We got a tie-up underneath. Good defense again. As St. John Vianney gets tied up inside. That was Michaela Hubbard, who just entered the game. She's a freshman, by the way. And again, that's 3 times in a row. Christ the King, with this zone, has really slowed down the offense of the Lancers. Here comes the press. Again, inexperience forcing that turnover as Sharon Brown walks with it. You really have to turn and see what you got first, don't you? Right.
Brown just has to play with poise, as I mentioned before. You get the ball, you turn around, face the hoop, and see where your players are and see where the defender is. And again, another teaching point for Coach Mackey and his girls.
Sierra Cavalos in the game right now for St. John Vianney. They're going to need some teaching points in the second, too, because it's 3 or 4 straight turnovers for them. And I know Dawn Carpel won't be happy with that because that's what happened in the Long Island Lutheran game. Partially blocked shot there. Very nice defense for Vianney. And number 21, another freshman in the game, Jamie Backman, who knocked that one out of bounds. And the Royals are calling an underplay right here, trying to score. Always want to protect the basket on the under. Good drive here. First basket for Christ the King. It goes to Sanaya Glenn. She's got 2. She averages over 19, Sky.
Yeah, averaging 19.2 points. She's really been the go-to player for Christ the King, and that's a good sign to see her finally get a bucket and see the ball go through the rim. And sometimes that gets the offensive going for the rest of the team.
Turnover for Vianney again. Trying to create a shot for herself was Christina Whitehead. She averages over 6 points a game. And the basketball will go back to Christ the King, the Royals. Vianney coming in at 16-1. Christ the King is 3-15 right now, of course, with their star player having not played a game this year, Natalia Marshall, who's headed to Notre Dame, and by all accounts, a top 5 player in the country. Brown, pull up. Got it for Christ the King. That's Sharon Brown.
And that's what I just said, right? Sometimes all it takes is visualizing and seeing the ball go through the rim just one time, and it gets everyone a lot more excited offensively, and also it brings a lot more confidence to the young Christ the King group.
Cahalan back in, and she's playing the high post. Vianney's got the zone offense going. Not sure Dawn Carpel wants him settling for threes. Here's a dribble drive and a good basket there for Christina Whitehead. Her first bucket of the contest.
Whitehead not afraid to put the ball on the floor that time. Nice pull-up in the heart of the paint, and you have to have a nice soft touch to finish those.
8-point lead right now for the Lancers. Again, these two teams, they've decided they're going to play home and home every year. They're not going to get involved in big tournaments. They want to play the games on each other's home court. There you see Dawn Carpel. who as a player played while Coach Mackey was coaching, so it's got to be interesting for her. She said she's only won a couple of these in all her 14 years coaching. This is the first time she's favored to win.
And this has been a rivalry, an out-of-state rivalry between these two schools since the early 90s. Coach Carpella said she still remembers that game going against Shindy Coast Guard when Coach Bat Mackey was the assistant. And she said they lost by 3 because of Shindy Coast Guard had a great steal and minute for the and one. And so, again, since she was playing in high school, this has been a rivalry game and a game her girls circle on their calendar and look forward to.
Good dribble drive that time by Kate Hill, who penetrated the zone, found a seam, and drew the foul. She'll go to the line. She's shooting over 70% from the line. Just a junior, putting up some pretty big numbers at 13 a game. Incidentally, 5 different scores for St. John Vianney. We talked about the balance. In fact, you even mentioned to Coach Carpella on the phone that they were voted the most consistent team of this last decade for girls basketball. That's a pretty nice honor.
Yeah, that's what makes a team consistent and play so well and only have 1 loss on the year. When you have balance, when you have other girls that can step up and score the basketball, when your star player may be having an off game. And it's all about having the right pieces on your roster, and this year Coach Carpella has the right pieces.
Let's take a look at this play. Getting down court, beating everyone down there, setting her feet and hitting the shot right here is Glenn, and drawing the foul. She's got 4 points in the contest. Did get a chance to talk to Marshall before the game, telling me a little bit about her story and committing to Notre Dame and how unfortunate her ACL injury is, forcing her out for the year this year. But she told me she really likes Sanaya Glenn. She says she's a sophomore and she's really good. She's already got mid-major looks everywhere, and who knows where she's going to be in a couple years. She's only a sophomore, and she's just cut this lead in half to 14-7.
Yeah, and if you watch during the timeouts while Coach Mackey's talking to the girls, Marshall as well is chiming in and trying to teach and also playing as like an assistant coach for Bob Mackey on the bench. And that says a lot about her and her character.
I couldn't agree more. She's been entrenched in the season, helping out her fellow teammates. Took the injury very hard, but she's been very involved. She goes to the practices. She's at all the team functions, and the kids really love her and look up to her. And she's trying to make the best of the situation. They want to win some more games. They don't want to end with 3 wins. They're trying to win here.
And that's the type of program Bob Mackey has every year. He has girls that really buy into his system, and right there Marshall, you can see sitting right next to the assistant coach, and his girls, they're like a family. And so although she's not playing, this is still her family, and she still wants to be fully a part of their wins and their losses.
So Laya Brown, she's got a first foul shot. She was fouled. Excuse me, Glenn again. And she makes them both. Glenn having a real nice first quarter. Got 6. Jump shot there is not going to go. Our score is 14-9 after 1 quarter play. You're watching ESPN High School Basketball. We'll be back after this. Okay, I won't say it again. Got it.
Let me see. I don't know. But if they're seniors, I would say signed. Are they all seniors?
We'll just say commits. Commits is safe.
And I played against Notre Dame at St. John's. I don't know if
I'll lead into that for you.
Tough arena to play at, that's for sure.
Got it. St. John Vianney with a 14-9 lead here at Christ the King in Middle Village, New York, here in Queens, one of the 5 great boroughs of New York. And you take a look at that score, 5-point lead. And we got some interesting stories about Notre Dame as well, where there you see the Royals of Christ the King, who are battling really well, staying into this contest right now. And there's some Notre Dame commits where Marshall's going to be joining him. Unfortunately, out for the year. She got hurt 2 days before the first practice, ACL. Just had the surgery a month ago, but she said she'll be ready to go. There you see Madeline Westbelt, Allison Campbell, Alicia Hayes. And I know when you played at St. John's, you said you played against Notre Dame, and it looks like they got another great class, maybe one of the best in the country, and you said it was a tough place to play.
Yes, what a tremendous job Coach Muffet McGraw has been doing with Notre Dame. And playing at St. John's University, I had to go against Notre Dame way too many times that I wanted to, and just a tough gym, a tough arena to play in. They have a lot of support. A great crowd comes out to watch the women's basketball games, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I know, for Marshall to start her career out at Notre Dame next year.
Well, McGraw's one of the reasons she went there. She wanted to play for a female coach, as we got a steal the other way. Bruin had just hit a 3, and now we got a layup the other way. That goes to Madison St. Rose. I believe that's Rose's first basket. 6 different players have scored. 4 points in the contest for Rose. Glenn has 7 of the 9 points for the Royals.
Now, Christ the King, Jeremy, they ended that first quarter out with the momentum on their side. And you can see Coach Carpel spoke with their girls clearly during that break, and they're coming out a lot stronger defensively.
A lot of trapping. Turnover, steal. Basket is made right there, and again, that's St. Rose. She's the leading scorer for this team at 16.3 points a game for the season. Sanaya Glenn averaging 19 for Christ the King. That's Glenn with the miss. Rebound comes out to Vianney.
But you know what? That's how you break the press. That time, Christ the King doing a good job of getting the ball to Glenn at half court in the middle of the floor, and then she had some space to get down the floor.
I agree. Throwing over the top is a good ingredient for success against the press break. We got another foul. They seem to be attacking the zone a little bit better. They were on a 7-0 run. In fact, they are on a 7-0 run. What's the key to the start of the second quarter here for Vianney?
You know, Coach Carpel, she mentioned she had an idea that Christ King was going to come out and play that 2-3 zone. She knows Bob Mackey wants to slow the game up and force her girls to settle for the long-distance perimeter shot. And so this time in the second quarter, you can see they're not settling for that 3-point shot. They're trying to find a way to attack the heart of the paint, and that's how you break that zone.
Bruin misses both. She has 5 in the game. They fight for the rebound. There's a tie-up. The arrow possession will go to the Royals of Christ the King on the ball, but it's that 2-2-1 full court they're going to have to contend with once again, Sky.
Yeah, so Glenn has to just keep moving in that center part by the half court line and try to get the ball.
Trying to force players to dribble is a key, and right now Christ the King's still doing that. And now a bad pass. Skip pass is stolen by Vianney, number 4, Cahalan.
And a big no-no that I'm sure Coach Mackey's going to tell his girls the next time out. You cannot throw those long cross-court passes, Jeremy. You're asking for the defensive player to get that steal every time. It has to be short and concise passes, and you have to make sure that there's eye contact as well.
The possession stayed with the Royals, so they're going to take it. And a drive by Glenn. She's going to get the basket and a foul. And she is really showing up here tonight. Fantastic job for Glenn.
And talk about that powerful move. Nice crossover by the free throw line. And the left side is her strong side, attacking the rim, but using her inside right hand to get the old school and one.
Looked a little bit like Sky Lindsay right there, didn't it?
I liked it.
3-point play right there for Glenn. It's off to a great start. 9-point lead for St. John Vianney. Christ the King staying close. Looks like they've switched to some man-to-man. Unless this is a matchup zone, I'm going to go to my expert, Sky Lindsay, here. Good pass. He with the rebound. This is what they do. They like to come out and run as well. But a great block there by Vianney. And it was Cahalan with the block.
The 6'2" sophomore, Callahan, right there. Great timing and smart defensive play. Did not get caught in the air, kept her arms straight up, and got the clean block.
When you're 6'2", no reason to jump when the player going into you is 5'8". Oh, they had to cut, but the ball went through the hands of the Royals. Missing that one was Robertson, who just checked into the game. Jump shot there for Vianney. Number 22, Madison St. Rose, but it comes back. Both these teams are very good on the offensive glass. Trying to penetrate against the zone. You want to dribble through two players, and there's Glenn. Great bounce pass. Brown finish, can't get it, or Robertson can't get it. And the rebound comes back to St. John Vianney to number 45, Christina Whitehead.
And those are those chippies, those fast break layups that Christ the King needs to connect on to close this gap.
How about St. Rose answering with the three? She's heating up 9 points for her, and they've doubled the lead again, 24-12. They get another steal. Another three. Got it.
St. John Vianney, they are a group that are amazing behind the three-point line. They've had one game this season so far where they hit 12 threes collectively as a team. So this is one team that gets hot behind the arc.
Well, Bachman hit the last three, but this is the one before. If you're going to leave St. Rose open at the top, she knows what to do with it. Beautiful stroke with the left hand. Back-to-back threes for St. John Vianney. They've opened up their biggest lead at 15. Another trap. And another trap leads to another steal. One thing I've noticed, every player on Vianney can handle the ball, even the forwards, the centers, they all get out and run. They're all versatile.
Yeah, it's very interchangeable. And Coach Carpel mentioned St. Rose. She's really the point guard by default. And you can see right here, she has the frame for a wing or a 2 or 3 guard, but everyone's able to put the ball on the floor and bring the ball up the court. And that's what makes her team so special.
To be 16-1 without a real true point guard is pretty special. That's the kind of year they're having. They lost 4 starters from last year. Christ the King lost all 5 starters from the state championship team, counting Marshall because she's hurt, plus 3 players who transferred, plus the Marshall injury. So they're 9 players down from a year ago. Yeah,
both teams really having to rebuild this season. A big rebuilding year for both staffs. And you can see as the year goes on, as the season goes on, Christ the King is getting a little bit better. As, of course, St. John Vianney as well.
Tyler Denby with the offensive foul. Good positioning there by Vianney, and taking the charge that time was Brune. Incidentally, your officials tonight, Courtney Cozart, Meg Dallanan, and Alberto Estrada. You saw Bob Mackey in his famous sweater. He wore those sweaters when you were playing and with them, right?
Yes, I think that's Coach Mackey's good luck sweater vest. He's definitely been wearing it since I've been around. I'm pretty sure he probably has at least 6 or 7 of them identical. And so something that he wears, it's his tradition, and it's how we recognize him and how we know him.
Well, he's had a lot of success. 497 wins. All those state championships, the 5 USA national championships. Rose with 10 points in the game now. She didn't start off hot either. As you said, she let the game come to her. The other teammates were scoring, and now she's the leading scorer for her team with 11. Second quarter scoring 15-3, I believe, in favor of Vianney.
And also, Jeremy, Coach Mackey in 2017, 2018, he was the All-USA Coach of the Year. And so a nationally known coach, he knows what it takes to win basketball games. And so although his team is down right now, St. John Vianney, they know this is a group that can come back at any moment. And so have to continue to play hard.
Got to get the ball to Glenn. She's the scorer. She's got the confidence, having a terrific sophomore year. Trying to drive, she stopped. Baseline is Denby. Another steal. It's St. Rose. She's going to go in all the way with the left hand and score it.
And talk about the patience and the timing she had that time to slow up her 2 steps and finish that on the right side with her left hand.
Body control is terrific for Madison St. Rose, just a sophomore. Follow-up shot here. Oh, missing an easy one there for Christ the King was Sharon Brown, the 5'7" junior guard, averaging 8 points a game. We're going to take a break, but we're going to take a look at Madison St. Rose. You'll remember this name in girls basketball. We'll be right back. Cool. Welcome to ESPN High School Basketball. The girls' version, St. John Vianney and Christ the King, 31-12. Vianney with a big lead right now. And this Madison St. Rose, as you see in your picture right there, she has really taken over right now. 13 big points, most of them here in the second quarter.
And Coach Carpel mentioned that St. Rose and most of her girls, they all look up to Kelly Campbell. She graduated from St. John Vianney. She now plays for DePaul, an All-American in the college women's basketball. And that's their poster child for St. John Vianney. That's the guard that St. Rose looks up to and really wants to try to emulate her career.
A steal for both sides, and St. Rose ends up with the ball. Looks like there's a foul there right in front of the Christ the King bench. It's going to go up against Anna Howe Holzer. She's a 5'9" junior guard. She's having a good year, too, averaging 12 points and 7 assists. They got 2 players in double figures for the season. Again, a very young squad. Christ the King usually an experienced squad going for state titles and national titles. This year, a little bit of a struggle without superstar player Natalia Marshall being injured, but they are playing with a lot of heart and determination. And Coach Mackey said they've been in almost every single game. It's the end of the games they've really had trouble. Now, today on their schedule, they know they're playing a power in Vianney, and they knew this was going to be a big challenge to win this game. But they're trying everything they can to slow down this team, and this St. Rose is awfully impressive.
And really, as a coach, that's all you can ask for out of your young squad, is to come out each and every game, play with a lot of heart and passion, and leave it all on the floor. And that's what Coach Bob Mackey's group is out here trying to do this second quarter.
They are. Boy, this trap is just killing him at the top of the key. They get another steal. Left side layup, no, but there's going to be a foul as Christina Whitehead, again, a 5'9" forward who's going to the basket and handling the ball. They double team at the top, and Christ the King is really having a lot of trouble with it because the first pass, it's a blind pass, and somebody's ready to step in that passing lane and steal it.
And I can imagine at halftime, Coach Bob Mackey is really going to break down how to break this full court press and really slow it down and show his girls exactly what the right pass and the next pass should be in the locker room. And right now, that foul just now was on Glenn, and Glenn has to play smart. That's a player they could not afford to not have on the floor. She cannot get in foul trouble today.
Well, unfortunately, she is. That's 3 fouls for Glenn. And Bob Mackey's going to have to make a decision. I believe they did take her off the court. It's going to be hard to play with her without her. Full court break. Coach Mackey saying, look up court, not side court or side to side. Got to break the press. There you see Marshall giving advice to some of her teammates, to the sophomore Glenn. You know, dressed in the sweat, she actually looks like an assistant coach.
And that's what I love to see. You can see Marshall constantly communicating and right there talking to the next star of Christ the King, talking to Glenn. And Glenn has to be aware of her foul situation. And she should not have gone for that block, which caused her to get that 3rd foul. And I'm pretty sure that's what Marshall was just telling her.
Well, it's an instinct, especially for a young player. You're giving it your all. You're trying to stop a basket. But you also got to remember you're the best player on your team. In tonight's game, you got 2 fouls. You don't want to get 3 in that first half. Something you learn through experience for sure. They go man-to-man. Pretty good breakdown, but here's a steal by Sharon Brown. Good find the back. And again, she's having trouble trying to dribble through too many of these Vianney players because they're all over the court. This is an incredible defensive team.
Right, but Brown, nice job getting that steal. And she has the right idea. She wants to get down on the floor and try to get a basket quickly, but 4 St. John Vianney shirts surrounding her. And that's why you must keep your head up while you're dribbling the basketball to be aware the defender's trying to swarm you.
So the ball goes back to St. John Vianney with the basketball right now. is Sierra Ceballos, 5'5" guard. She's a freshman. Believe it or not, there are no seniors on the St. John Vianney team, and they're still having this incredible year. Good tie up here for Christ the King. Great defense there by number 24, Tyler Cohen, who had a brother who played at the school at Christ the King. Very famous school, not only on the girls' side, as we were talking earlier, on the boys' side, Lamar Odom, of course, played here.
Yeah, Christ the King, just as far as basketball overall and athletics overall, the mecca of New York sports, and doing a great job since I graduated back in 2007, keeping the history and keeping it going and making this a consistent winning program.
Inbounds for CTK. Anna Howe Holzer with the basketball. Not sure what this call was. Guess I lost the ball again. It's going to go back to Vianney. So St. Rose to inbound. Bob Mackey's going man-to-man. Whitehead can't get that one to go, and now the ball goes out of bounds, and it goes back to the Royals. Minute 39 to go here in the first half. St. John Vianney over Christ the King by 20. Again, here comes the double team. They got to help her out, too. It's not all on Brown. St. Rose has it. Easy layup. She's got 16 points.
But Jeremy Brown, she can't be afraid. Sometimes girls forget you can dribble backwards. That time when she saw the double team coming, she could have back dribbled and then regrouped and then made the correct pass.
Really nice drive that time by the Royals. I believe that was Denby. And Tyler will go to the line. They've got two young ladies by the name of Tyler who play a lot for Christ the King, Denby and Cohen. Denby will go to the line for two. She was fouled that time, by Christina Whitehead. Knocks that one down. Her first point in the game. And she knocks another one down.
And believe it or not, those free throws were huge, Jeremy, because they need every opportunity to get a free throw or any easy shot or any easy layup. Christ the King has to be able to connect and take advantage of those opportunities. And that time, nice job by Denby to do so.
I like that Coach Mackey went full court man-to-man here, asking Vianney to be challenged. Not going to let him walk off the court. Good backdoor right here. St. Rose misses with the left, and the rebound comes to Robertson. Up ahead, this is Cohen. Puts it in.
Cohen with a nifty job doing the Euro step that time to prevent from getting a charge and finish that layup.
How about making the shot with no backboard, no rim? All touch. 34-16 now. Got another reach-in foul on the far right. That's Robertson. Haven't really seen a lot of fouls in this game. 4 for Vianney, 3 on the Royals.
Both teams pretty much playing under control for the most part on the defensive end. You can see they're sticking with the defensive assignments and trying to play clean defense, sliding their feet. Just the offensive end right now is what Christ the King is just struggling a bit with.
St. Rose, 17 points in this first half. Just sophomore. She fills up a stat sheet. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 83% from the line. She's a do-all player. State of New Jersey wants no part of her or this team in the upcoming state playoffs, I can imagine. Vianney's won more tournament of championships than any team in the state of New Jersey on the girls' side. Sharon Brown in and out. Follow-up layup, no. St. Rose looks ahead. Great vision there. Turning and shooting is Emma Brune. And I believe she's going to get to the line for 2 shots. And again, how about the vision of St. Rose? I believe we may get another look at this right now.
Nice job keeping her head up. St. Rose finding Bruin, running the floor hard on the opposite side. And it's always a great feeling when you get rewarded for running the floor hard. And you have teammates like St. Rose that's going to keep their head up and get you the ball.
That's one of the reasons she's the unofficial point guard on this team. 6 points in the contest for Bruin now. Hard team to come back for when they make all their foul shots, too, aren't they? 22-point lead, yes, 38-16. Sharon Brown, pull up. Form was perfect. Everything was perfect. Just short on the shot. And that will end our first half. A terrific first half for St. John Vianney, the visitors from New Jersey, as they'll run off the court there with a 38-16 lead. We're at halftime. A lot of turnovers. I do not have that. Oh.
Okay, so what are we talking about right now for halftime?
So after I read the graphic, am I looking at the camera or am I looking at Sky, or both?
Okay.
Okay, I won't say anything about the McDonald's till I see it pop up.
I know, right?
Hurry up, hurry up.
That's okay. I think my lip gloss is popping enough.
That is beautiful. New York City and St. John Vianney. It's a beautiful night for them right now as they lead 38-16 over the host Christ the King Royals here at Christ the King High School in Middle Village, New York, here in Queens. And Jeremy Cheeman here along with Sky Lindsay. Looking good, Sky. And really good first half for St. John Vianney. The press was terrific. The offense was terrific. And the defensive intensity forced all kinds of turnovers for Christ the King.
Yeah, St. John Vianney, they came to play today. They know the defensive assignments, putting a lot of pressure on Christ the King defensively, and ultimately a lot of their offense coming from their strong defense so far in that first half.
It sure does. And you see a lot of entertainment here at halftime going on here at Christ the King High School. Let's take a look at the Notre Dame class of 2020 again. Of course, Natalia Marshall not playing. She's been out for the entire year, which is a huge blow for Christ the King and a huge blow for girls basketball because she was one of the best players in the country this year. Westbelt, Campbell, Marshall, Hayes. Look at the rankings, 23, 25, 32, 44. You played at St. John's. I know you wouldn't want to play against a class that has all these players ranked in the top 30, 20, 30, or 40.
Big recruiting class for Coach Muffin McGraw. She always does a great job recruiting and getting the best players to come to her program. And that's why Notre Dame is always one of the best to compete in collegiate basketball.
So real good first half here for St. John Vianney. Let's take a look at those McDonald's All-Americans girls rosters. Cameron Brank, Caitlin Clark's among some of the big names. Lexi Donarski, a huge name nationally. Sydney Parrish, Madison Scott, Cecilia Williams. And the McDonald's All-American game will be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, April 1st, right here on ESPN. And it's going to be great. I mean, when a girl gets selected to the McDonald's All-American game, it's a huge honor, just like it is for the boys. And girls basketball, having be part of McDonald's all these years is so special for all these incredible players.
And what a great job they do with those games. And you can see from watching this on TV, the girls and the boys, such a great time being out there on the floor, representing their school and their state, and being a part of this All-American basketball game.
So we'll be back with more here at halftime. St. John Vianney with the 22-point lead at halftime. Jeremy Treven and Sky Lindsay. We'll see you in a second. And around, so.
Yeah.
Got it. I'll just read what's off the monitor, right? Score stats, and then you might put the Geico thing back up. Okay, I'm sorry, miss. What you said was the first thing again? Okay. Okay. What's the South Pole again? What does that mean? The first thing you said, South Pole? Okay, gotcha. April 2nd to the 4th at Geico High School Nationals. And we are live here at St. John at Christ the King High School. St. John Vianney with the big lead over Christ the King here at halftime, 38-16. Jeremy Chibin and Sky Lindsay bringing you all the action here with ESPN High School basketball. Tonight, a really good girls game. Christ the King held to 16 points and Vianney with 38. And again, there you see those Nationals, Christ the King High School in New York City. We are on the floor right now where those great games are going to be played. 8 boys teams, 4 girls teams, 10 games total on the ESPN networks. It's always a thrill for people to see the best teams in America play and battle it out for the Geico High School Basketball Nationals on both the boys and girls side. And Scott, you get selected to play in that. That's pretty big time.
Yeah, and Christ the King does such a great job hosting this event each year. They have a beautiful campus, and they really do a great job allowing these girls and these guys also to show their talent and have a good time and create beautiful memories here.
Much anticipated. Let's take a look at a flashback of the 2019 Girls Geico National Championship. And this national championship was played right here at Christ the King High School last April. It was the number 8 ranked New Hope High School team from Maryland versus the number 2 ranked St. John's team from Washington, D.C. All eyes were on A.G. Foot to lift her team to a championship. But it was the underdogs, New Hope, who wouldn't go away. Jada Walker, 8 points, and her teammate, Katie Cornegay-Lucas, adding 11. They beat St. John's 45-34, win their first schools Geico National Championship. And you see the celebration, and that was from last year. And you're going to see a similar type celebration for some lucky girls team coming up this year, and of course for some boys teams. Well, I got to let you describe this because you are a Royal.
And that banner means so much, just to put that jersey on for these Christ the King girls, and even to play on this court, even if you don't go to Christ the King, it keeps great memories in your head.
Well, there you see our score, and we'll be back right after this.
So who are the highest scorers for both teams? Do we have them? Oh, okay.
No,
put us in the middle.
Well, he's about to post them all up.
18 points for St. Rose.
They're going to put it up here.
But they're going to show that after the highlight reel, like the highlights. We have to be able to talk during the highlights, right?
I apologize, John. You coming back with stats or stats and/or highlights? Gotcha. Ah.
Okay, see?
Okay, I misunderstood you. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Glenn has 10 points. Okay.
When the highlights come on, I'll just point to you. You talk over the highlights. Or you can
was most of her shots pull-ups? They were mostly jump. I wish I could have.
I think they were drives. She hit the one shot here where she got fouled.
Mm-hmm.
He said they'd be top 10 in the country if she was playing.
They have no one else but Marshall. She couldn't have done this all by herself.
She's a top 5 player in the country. I mean, they would have been great.
Did he tell you she's top 5 in the country?
He did tell me that. Yes, he did.
ESPN has her as 35th in the country.
No way. She's way better than that.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
ESPN High School basketball at Christ the King High School, Middle Village, New York. There you see our score. Girls basketball, St. John Vianney, ranked 25th in the country. They're up 38-16. Let's take a look at some highlights here. Both numbers 22. Sky, take us away.
Madison St. Rose, so far she's been playing exactly how the entire tri-state says she plays, and that is hard. 18 points already for the all-star sophomore. Right there showing us her perimeter game, knocking down an off-the-dribble trifecta. And talk about the great job using her patience and able to do that Euro step to finish that layup. But Glenn, the other sophomore star for Christ the King, she is doing all she can to keep her team in this game. Right there, the nice soft touch to get the and one. Tough shot in the corner. And talk about this drive. 2 and ones in this game. Just bringing it all on the floor, doing what she can to keep her team in this game.
St. Rose with 18 points, Glenn with 10. Let's take a look at some stats from the first half. Vianney shot the ball very well, 13 for 24 overall. Christ the King struggled at 5 for 20. 3-pointers, Vianney really benefiting by knocking down 3, and of course St. Rose is your leading scorer. There you see her with 18 points, and she was the 5th player to score in a team, letting other players get in the game first. That's the point guard mentality in her, but also she definitely has a scoring mentality. You mentioned she really plays more like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, and Coach Carpel mentioned she has a high basketball IQ, and St. Rose, she knows when to give the ball up when someone has the better shot, and she also knows when to be selfish and attack and when to take a shot herself, and that's what makes her such a smart basketball player and tough to defend.
The Royals in white. Glenn with the 3 fouls goes in, scores, and gets the foul. So she had to sit part of the second quarter because of the foul trouble, but you take a look at this drive, probably her most impressive play of the game.
And watch how she got low with the dribble to split both defenders and get another and one. And that's what I want to see out of the all-star sophomore in the second half. I want to see her get low and attack the rim and find those open lanes to the basket.
She's been a shining light for CTK tonight. 19 points in the contest. Royals playing man-to-man, but not a pressurized man-to-man. They get a turnover, though. Denby over to Tyler Cohen. Corner J there for Holzer. No. Hope that's not a 4th foul on Glenn. Foot on the line. Turnover goes against Christ the King, and St. John Vianney will get the basketball back. Talk about the defense that the Royals are setting up here to start the second half.
You can see they're stepping out of that 2-3 zone, trying to pick the pace up, and they got the momentum right now on their side. And so just trying to put some more pressure on St. John Vianney and make them have to rush some shots this time in the second half. Because in that first half, St. John Vianney was way too comfortable. They were able to do whatever they wanted on the offensive end. And Christ the King has to find a way to shake things up like they just did, causing that turnover.
Yeah, Ashley O'Connor trying to go up against Glenn, and she travels. Wondering if Coach Mackey will go to some trapping here. They're down by 19 points, 38-19. The trapping has worked very well for St. John Vianney. High ball screen there by Cohen. But another bad pass. It's stolen by Brune. Looks up. St. Rose got it.
Brune, talk about her hand-eye coordination to get that steal and get the right timing in and keep her head up to find St. Rose running the floor. The discipline Coach Carpel's group has to keep their head up, make that extra pass is what, again, makes them so tough to beat this season.
St. Rose with 20 points in the contest. Let's take a look at it again. All starts with the good defense.
Yeah, right here, Brune reading that pass and getting in the passing lane for that steal and then keeping her head up. Nice bounce pass to St. Rose for the lefty layup.
I think St. Rose is a tougher player than advertised because she shoots left. It's hard for players to defend. Wow, what a beautiful stroke. Creates her own shot, creates the space, knocks down the three. She's got 23 in the contest. 22-point lead. Man offense. There's that double team. Got to be looking for it if you're Christ the King. You know they're doubling. Good save by Brown. Holzer inside. Glenn reverse. Can't get it.
Talk about, though, right there, the athleticism by Glenn to find a way to catch that tough pass and even get it up to the rim.
And how about the play of Vianney's Katie Hill, who's been quiet. She's one of their better players, averaging 13 a game. She's got 6 in the contest. She took the rebound, went coast to coast. Somebody's got to stuff in, either stop ball or take a charge.
And Hill, the 5'11 junior, had 18 points for Red Bank Catholic and being looked by a lot of great schools. And Coach Carpel said she may go Ivy League and because she's a high academic student and one of the girls that's going to go Division I for Coach Carpel and the Lady Lancers.
Another great up-court pass. St. Rose caught the defense sleeping. Another layup inside. 47-23, Vianney by 24. Another good shot inside for Sharon Brown. She's heating up with a couple baskets here in the third quarter.
And a beautiful quick release by Brown. She knew she caught that ball with a lot of traffic around her, but found a way to quickly get it up and connect.
She's going to be a very good player. She works on her offensive game. She's going to be a very good player. She has great instincts. Great block by Glenn. Great save by Glenn. Great hustle by Glenn.
And you know what? That's just a lot about Christ the King and how Coach Bob Mackey teaches his girls. They're down by a lot right now, but that hustle we just saw by Glenn to keep that ball in bounds says a lot about how much passion and heart they bring when they put on the floor every night.
And you see it right here as everybody's scrambling on the floor. Multiple substitutions coming up for the Lancers. Great bounce pass. That's how you break a double, but coming with the weak side help and the hustle, jumping over the table, the chair, getting into the crowd.
The nice timing that time to get that clean block and then keep the possession and save the ball. Just, again, it shows her athleticism and only a sophomore.
Also her smarts, because she knew exactly where she was throwing the ball. She knew there were white shirts where she was throwing it and not a dark jersey. You don't want to throw it back in the middle of the offensive basket for the other team, and she knew she wasn't doing that. 47-25, Vianney. Whitehead, Brune, here's St. Rose on the drive. Draws the double, and here comes the Christ the King the other way. Sharon Brown's got it. Glenn getting a blow right now, but I think she's coming right back in. Sharon Brown has the basketball, guarded by Brune. There's a reach for St. John Vianney. That's a foul against Christina Whitehead. Her third. We got a timeout here on the court. It's 47-25 St. John Vianney. Hope you're enjoying our girls basketball game here on ESPN. We'll be right back. beautiful night here in New York City, and Jeremy Cheevan along with Sky Lindsay. And Sky, you've grown up here in New York. You played in New York, high school and college. It's got to be a thrill. I'm from Philadelphia, and I love Philadelphia, but I also love New York, and every time I'm here, it's awesome.
And what a great feeling it is to be back on my old high school floor here at Christ the King and being able to watch this rivalry go at it. Christ the King versus St. John Vianney. Always a pleasure to watch both the best programs in New York and New Jersey compete, and Christ the King doing a great job hosting it this year. It's so much fun this game has been.
A little more fun for Vianney than Christ the King so far, but everybody's having fun. 47-25 right now. Glenn back in the game for Christ the King, and you can see she's going to be the next great player here. As Marshall will have graduated, not playing her senior year, will have great success at Notre Dame, we anticipate. Missed shot there. Ball will go back to the Royals.
And that time, probably not the shot Coach Carpel would have wanted to see off that steal, and had a much better job if Whitehead had attacked the rim that time, but instead settled for the jumper. Coach Carpel with a lot of substitutions right there, Jeremy.
She has. We'll get to those in a second. I'm more interested in that Coach Bob Mackey has Glenn bringing the ball up for his team right now and taking it all the way and almost making the layup.
It's important to give the girls that confidence, that green light to bring the ball up the floor and not be afraid to dribble. And you can see Coach Mackey gives his girls that confidence. If you worked hard to get a steal or get the rebound, it's okay to dribble the ball.
Savalos missed a shot. Reset here for Vianney. We got a foul. Driving to the basket. It'll be a side out here. Looks like it's only the second team foul for Christ the King in this half. 2 fouls for St. John Vianney. Not a physical game. Wow, another block for Glenn. Add shot blocking to her repertoire. 2 great blocks for her here in the third quarter. Holzer inside. And that foul that time is going to be on Hubbard, the freshman, 5'10". Holzer go to the line for a couple. Having a real good year. 12.7 assists. They've done a nice job bottling her up tonight. Mostly because she can't get the ball because the press has been so effective and the half-court defense has been so effective in getting steals.
And that's what Christ the King needs right now offensively. They need someone to be able to help Glenn, a 6'1" sophomore, out. They need Holzer to find a way to be creative and get some points on the scoreboard and get some buckets in, just to relieve some of the pressure off of Glenn.
Misses both. Ball comes back to St. John Vianney, the Lancers, looking for their 17th win on the season. Hubbard has it. Good ball control. Handling the basketball up top is Katie Hill. Another block. That was Glenn again. 3 blocks for Glenn in this quarter. Let's take a look at this one. Sky, what are you seeing here with her instincts and her ability to not foul?
And not every high school girls basketball player has that ability to have the right timing to get a clean block. And you can see Glenn has perfected that.
Bachman, who hit a 3 in the first half, doesn't get that shot to go. And again, bringing the ball up this half. Right now for Christ the King is Sanaya Glenn, 6'1", sophomore, guard, forward, center, whatever you want to call her. She's playing all 3 positions today, and she just drew a foul.
Yeah, Glenn showing us her dribbling ability that time and getting super low for the crossover, and that's what's important. Glenn is 6'1", but she's not afraid to get low when she dribbles the basketball, and that is key.
Well, all the former stars here were multi-talented, multifaceted, and looks like she's going to be the next one who can play any position and improve everywhere. That's great defense. 5-second call. St. John Vianney, every player had bottled up their offensive player. They couldn't even make a pass right there. You got to give Vianney a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and good job. You know, Hubbard did a great job forcing her to stop her dribble and to trap her, but you have to appreciate your teammates who are going to over-deny and make sure there gets no pass off.
And this time it's the Royals with the steal in the backcourt. Ariana Houghton just in the game, a 5'7" guard sophomore. making a nice contribution with the steal in the bucket. Glenn's got the steal on the inside. She's leading the break. Oh, great pass. Reverse layup, no, for Holzer. We're going to get a foul here, and it's going to go the other way. Take a look at one of the real highlights of this game for Christ the King. As stepping in right there, Austin with the steal and the basket. She just came into the game. Really nice job for Ariana, 5'7" sophomore guard.
And Coach Carpel allowing girls that don't normally get many minutes to be on the floor and get some moments on the floor and get a teaching point for her future group.
Well, she wants to get all those sophomores in together because apparently at their summer camp, at their talent show, they win every year. They choreograph their own dances and stuff. They say the girls have a really good time. They're a very cohesive unit.
Yeah, she spoke a lot about the summer, about the camp and their talent show and how much it's grown each year to a huge performance. And just hearing how her girls, and she has girls that can dance, girls that can sing on her team, and it's a very talented group overall, aside from just basketball, for Coach Carpel.
And Callahan, who's 5'11", apparently she's the best dancer of all. And she does tumbles and cartwheels. Apparently it's quite a talent show. I thought it was just for the team. Then she explained to me, no, hundreds of people come and watch this.
Yeah, it's really become a huge thing, she said. And that's just, it's crazy how basketball brings the community together in other ways as well, Jeremy.
It sure does. So at the line right now is Hill for Vianney. She's got 7 in the contest. Make that 8. 49-27. St. John Vianney. Coach Carpel's been coaching 14 years. To her recollection, she's only beaten Coach Mackey twice. So she's looking for win number 3. Look at this move. However, it was great defense. As good as offense it was a little too much. And drawing the charge that time for Vianney, number 4, Megan Cahalan.
Cahalan not afraid to get her body in there, was already set and waiting for Glenn to come at her. And you have to love a player that's willing to do the intangibles and really get her body in there and sacrifice her body for her team.
49-27. There you see Glenn, 15 points. Let's take a look at Madison St. Rose. If there's any one player who has stuck out today, it's St. Rose. Here you see her get the steal, take her time, great body control, make the left-handed layup.
And it's hard to believe she's only a sophomore, right there running the floor hard. Her teammate Bruin rewarding her for doing so, and it's showing us that she also can knock down the off-the-dribble trifecta, making it look so easy out there today.
She's got great size, 5'9", can play pretty much 3 positions at the high school level. She's really going to be a good player. She's only a sophomore. In fact, I watched the tape of their win over Riverdale Baptist, and she was all over the tape, as were all of her teammates. They played incredible defense, pressuring a team that was ranked way ahead of them and was expected to blow them out, and they ended up getting blown out. They've only got one hiccup on their schedule. That's against Long Island Lutheran, where Coach Carpel said the team just made too many turnovers. They never want to have a game like that again. St. Rose, too strong. And Alvarado, who with our own cheering section just came into the game, comes up the rebound. We're going to take a break. St. John Vianney 49, Christ the King 27. We're in New York City, and we'll be back after this.
I already talked about Kelly Campbell.
I'm looking at all my stories I wrote down.
Let's see what else she told us.
Oh, yeah, I got a mother-daughter story. They were the only mother-daughter combo to play and win the Tournament of Champions. I'm going to go with that. That's Carpel. That was in 2016, yeah. She's with Vianney. I got a couple of funny things about Mackey, too. He's a chemistry teacher here, a volleyball coach, the AD. We'll get it all in. Okay. And welcome back. ESPN High School Basketball, girls basketball tonight. St. John Vianney from New Jersey, leading their counterparts from New York, Christ the King, 49-27. And Coach Dawn Carpel, coaching 14 years for St. John Vianney. Had an interesting side note for us when we were talking to her yesterday, Sky. She's the only mother-daughter combination, her daughter playing on her 2015 and 16 team to compete in the Tournament of Champions in New Jersey, which is kind of like the Geico Nationals for national, but for the state of New Jersey, it's for all the marbles, and they won. They're the only mother-daughter team to win, which is pretty incredible. Daughter went on to play at Fordham. St. Rose, another steal, layup, got it.
And Coach Bob Mackey, he mentioned that no team has let up yet against Christ the King, and you can see still St. John Vianney coming out with the same amount of energy they've had this entire game, and they're going to continue to try to score and run this score up. And I'm sure they have not forgotten about their loss to Christ the King last year.
Well, they did lose 40-28 last year. Marshall was the big hero in that game with 14 points, 7 of them late. Well, when you're 2-12 against somebody, you come on their home court, you want to win. I think the effort, whoever's out there is going to play their hardest, regardless of score, regardless of opponent. I think that's what's happening here. You got to be happy for all the girls giving it their all right here, even though the outcome is sort of decided. Nice layup here on the inside for Vianney. And that is Ashley O'Connor, her first bucket of the game.
And beautiful pass from Hill to catch O'Connor cutting, and got to have the perfect timing to get that cut right.
How about this play? Glenn on the break. Perfect one-handed pass there by Holzer. And she'll go to the line trying to complete another three-point play. She has 1 on the three-point shot, and then she's got 3, I believe, three-point opportunities the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that should be a stat perhaps in the stat book now. How many and one plays can you get? And right now Glenn is showing us that she's not afraid to take the contact, and she knows just the right touch to still finish with the contact.
She's playing with a lot of confidence. 17 points in this contest. Vianney's got the 24-point lead. Wow. That's Emma Bruin pulling up for 3. I think that might put her into double digits. It does. She's got 10.
Bruin, she's been quiet, but a nice quiet 10 points. And she's that extra player that Coach Carpel has that takes some of that pressure off of St. Rose, and doing a great job today offensively, controlling the tempo.
Glenn, a distributor on this one. Finding Brown. Elia Brown for 2. On a nice dish. After she drew the double. Missed shot. Here comes Glenn again. Going to take it all the way. They're going to call a charge. They are. I think Glenn may have fouled out on that one. Good call, though. Standing her ground. Let's take a look. I think it's Callahan again.
And that time she got her body ready for the contact. And Glenn, she has to be smart. She has to be aware that when she's going coast to coast, St. John Vianney, they're a smart team. They're going to get ready to take that charge. And she has to be ready to get that quick dish off or find a way to do a Euro step and avoid that charge. And that time, getting called for yet another charge. And unfortunately, it's out the game.
You know, in both those cases where she drew the charges, I thought it was good offense, but I just thought the defense was just outstanding. I mean, this is a high level of high school basketball for players to step up and make those kinds of plays. Get their body stationary. Now, Scott, you played, when you put the arms up, that's still considered okay and kosher to draw the charge, right? Because the way Callahan put the hands up like this and crossed them.
Yeah, I believe for girls basketball, that's okay. You know what? I believe she saw the fast pace that Glenn was coming at her, and she knew she had to get herself ready. And I don't blame her for getting her arms up and crossing it to get ready for that hit.
Sharon Brown. A lot of growing pains for her this year, but she's going to be a heck of a player next year. You can count on that. St. Rose, dish. 2 dribbles and open. Katie Hill knocking it down.
Katie Hill showing us her nice soft touch. And again, schools like Richmond, Penn, and Bucknell already offering the young junior.
She's got 10 in the contest. Callahan with a rebound, throws it away. Sharon Brown has the mismatch. Big player out on her. Boy, they do such a good job hedging and recovering. And we got a foul. Multiple substitutions coming in for Vianney. Looks like they're going to have 5 substitutes. And I wanted to talk about Bob Mackey for a second because he's a legend here. He's been here for over 30 years, 12 as an assistant, 19 as a head coach, won all these national championships, USA Coaches of the Year. But you got to remember, he's still an educator first. He teaches chemistry, and I talked to Marshall. Marshall said, he was my chemistry teacher. I was scared to death because he was also my coach. I felt I had to do well. He was also a dean at one time. I think he was the dean when you were here. He's the athletic director here. He says he's also fills up the water for the bottle. You'll see him sweeping up the floors. He does everything here at Christ the King. And I think that's what sometimes you just don't appreciate what people do at the high school level.
Yeah, Coach Mackey, he is the heart of this program here at Christ the King. He does everything, and not just for basketball and athletics. He does a lot for the community and for the school, and you can see he's been there for so many years, and he has a special place in his heart for Christ the King and the students that come to Christ the King. He stays in contact with all the alumni, and the alumni come back and watch the games, support the new players and the young girls, and just overall it's a huge family, and Coach Mackey is at the head of it that keeps it all together.
Very well said. And I think I forgot to say he also coaches volleyball here. Talk about versatility.
Yeah, I remember trying out for the volleyball team back here at Christ the King, and it lasted 1 day for me, Jeremy.
You're all about basketball.
Definitely. But Coach Mackey, able to teach multiple sports and chemistry, and again, just an all-around great guy that does so much for the basketball community and the community of New York City.
Missed foul shot here for Christ the King. It's Tyler Cohen. Several family members playing basketball here at the program from her family. Knocks one down. Just had a nice all-around game. 58-32. Be very interesting to see how Vianney does. They've won 7 tournament of championships in the state of New Jersey for the girls. That's 1 more than Shabazz. They'll be one of the favorites to win number 8 this year.
That's right. St. John Vianney only won 1 tournament of champions so far under Coach Carpel, and they believe, although they graduated many seniors, that they have the right pieces this year with their young group to take it to the very end and possibly defend and get a tournament of champions.
I've seen enough to know that I'm convinced that they're going to be right in this thing. Brown scored on the other side. This is Sharon Brown with it. Let me check that. That was Hubbard who scored the last bucket. So Vianney up comfortably, and we'll return with the final 3:35 after these messages. Okay, we're not thanking any of you guys, right? Okay. Could you give me everybody's name real quick? Give it to Gary. Good idea. Well, when I was walking around today, Sky, in Queens, it was rainy, it was muggy, it was misty. I could barely see, and it's actually a really nice night now. And it's a very good night for St. John Vianney here on the ESPN High School Showcase, New Jersey versus New York, as Vianney's got the 60-32 lead over the hosts, Christ the King Royals. Trying to wrap it up here. A lot of substitutes in the game for Vianney, and for Christ the King for that matter. Delaney in the game, Brandon in the game, and handling the ball right now for Vianney is Bachman. Good pass inside to Hubbard. And Michaela's going to go line for a couple. She looks like she has a lot of potential. She's just a freshman. And we're seeing a lot of young players on both sides in the game. There's not a lot of seniors who've been out there at all today. I think there's only one senior in the game tonight, and that was Aliyah Brown from Christ the King. This one's no good. Boy, it'll be exciting here April 2nd and 4th when you see the best teams in the country on both the boys and girls side compete for the Geico National Championships. What a beautiful court. Can't get those foul shots to go. That's been another difference today. For the most part, Vianney's been pretty good at the line, but they missed those two. Here's Christ the King. A pick and pop. Missing that one was Robertson. The young player with some good potential. Holtzer, great drive, but overshoots it. How about that shot for Houghton? She had that great steal and layup, and she hits the three right here. Looks like a good young player for Coach Mackey, 5'7" sophomore.
And Jeremy, Christ the King still fighting and still playing hard to the very end. And you can see they came out with a boost of energy just now. And again, just have to love when you see girls playing until the buzzer goes. And right here, missed that layup, but did a great job staying with the Christ the King and knocking down that tough corner three, one of the toughest spots on the floor to knock down a perimeter shot.
Well, not only that, she had the presence of mind to know her teammate was going to get the ball, and she got herself behind the line, got her feet set, and in one motion hit the three. No different than what Ray Allen did against San Antonio in 2013. Foul shots here the other end. 62-35. Vianney's got the lead. The Royals are bringing the ball up with 2:35 to go. Another offensive rebound. Hubbard's got the block. Boy, Cohen's been really working hard underneath. Gets that steal. Three-pointer for Christ the King. It's no good that time. That was Holtzer. They're going to reset. They've already got three cracks at it at this possession. 2:11 left in the contest. Holtzer driving, foul line, left extended. Rebound comes to Vianney. Whitehead has it. She's going to bring it up herself. Staying in the man-to-man. Calling for the high screen. Hubbard set her up well, but they don't go to her. And now she gets called for a 3-second violation in the lane. Substitutions for Vianney, 31. Sienna Bradley coming into the game, I believe for the first time. She wears number 31. Back into the game is Sierra Savalos, number 10. And she'll be guarding the ball handler right now. Holtzer getting her crack at bringing up the ball here in the fourth quarter. Robertson on the wing. The cutter is Houghton, who's had a real nice game with that steal and the three. They're going to call a reach foul here. One of the cleanest basketball games I've ever seen. I believe we have about 12 total fouls called in the entire game.
Yes, and great job by the officials as well. Did a great job keeping his game under control and officiating a great game.
That one rattles around the rim and goes in for Holtzer. First point. First point. Holtzer gets her second one. Having a great year as a junior. 12 points and 7 assists. Really had a tough time cracking the Vianney defense today. Her first 2 points.
Holtz are just going to have to be able to shake this game off, regroup, and be ready for the next game. And because her teammates need her to be strong offensively and to get her game going, and you have to be able to shake these bad games off and move forward.
Cohen outlet pass too far ahead. Another turnover for Christ the King. Probably the #1 bugaboo for them in this game. And let's take a look at the foul here. There's going to be an opportunity for St. John Vianney, number 10, Sierra Savalos. She got bumped there by Cohen.
Yeah, and Savalos driving baseline that time and taking the bump from the inner shoulder, but finishing with the outside arm.
And like most of her teammates, she can knock down foul shots. 65-37. St. Rose was the star of this game for St. John Vianney, but she had a lot of help, a very balanced attack. Savalos with the rebound. Now she tries to dribble through 2 white shirts, and it's just not a good recipe. So dribble through pressure. It's going to stay Vianney possession on the alternating possession arrow rule. Bob Mackey still going full court press. Wants girls to remember this and remember it for next year. Get better. Holtzer guarding Savalos. There's the hedge and recover, but it leads to an open 3. Nobody picked up the shooter. Going down the sidelines there for Christ the King is Alvarado. And she lost the ball, but a good effort there. Knocks the ball loose, and Holtzer gets her first basket. She has 2 foul shots, and she's got 4 in the contest. Final 10 seconds, Sky.
Coach Carpel has to be proud of her girls. Came back over the bridge, and this time winning over Christ the King. And Christ the King, another game to regroup, learn from, and get better as the season continues for them.
So our final score is 65-39 for Vianney. St. Rose, the high score of 25. Hill had 10 for Sky Lindsay. My name is Jeremy Treven. Thank you to all the crew here at ESPN for making this great game happen. We'll see you next time.